Just
Actually, no,
started it.
it'll pop up on my phone.
Ah, you said it will pop up for you?
It should, because I get all the notifications, because I have notifications turned on for our channel.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. Notifications turned on for our channel.
All right. Yeah. So
Yep, there we go.
UCLA, Indiana. What are we thinking here?
I definitely, I want to live in the dream world and say UCLA is going to put on a show just because of Nika or because of the way they've been playing. But realistically, I'm leaning Indiana. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I think Indiana actually does have some vulnerabilities, just because we've seen how Penn State has not panned out at all to be a football team,
Oh yeah,
and um, I know they credit Indiana with like that big Oregon win, but
yes,
Oregon, I mean, I get it, they're in Happy Valley, but I'm just saying two things that stand out to me are Oregon almost lost to Penn State, who is now a four-loss team,
uh-huh,
and Indiana beat them. So I mean, that whatever, that's still a good win because you're on the road. But I mean, like we said, Oregon did almost lose to Penn State, and they looked a little lackluster against Northwestern on the road.
they
Um,
did.
but Indiana still beat them. But the one that stands out to me a lot about Indiana is the fact that they only beat Iowa by like what 4 or 5 points.
Five, yeah, they beat them 2015. I mean,
Yeah,
that game was
so
at Iowa, and I don't know if that was a night game or anything.
no,
I
I
don't
think it was a day. I think it was a day game. I'm not
Okay,
entirely sure on that, so don't quote me. But I don't know.
okay,
I think I don't know. I just think that Indiana has vulnerabilities. I don't think UCLA will beat Indiana by any means,
right,
but
right.
I don't know, man. I mean, Indiana or UCLA has looked like a completely different football team as of late. So
They have. They really have, and they've been entertaining and cool to watch. I mean, their most recent win there, they beat Maryland, I think 20-17, and that was an interesting game there. But I don't think UCLA does have quite enough. But I guess we'll find out.
yeah, what do we have next?
I mean, and
Syracuse. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Indiana's a 27.5 point favorite.
Oh my god, really,
Yeah, minus 27.5.
dude? I didn't know they were favored that much. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I feel like that's maybe a little high. I don't know. Indiana has been like absolutely like shredding.
they have.
They've been dropping so many points, but I still just don't really know if dude 28 points. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
lot against any Big Ten team. So, but especially
Right.
a team that has won three straight now. So
Hmm.
I don't know. It will be interesting for sure.
Oh yeah.
Um, Syracuse at GT. Um, I think if this was the other way around, this would maybe be an interesting matchup. But the fact that it's in Georgia Tech, because we've seen Syracuse they can play some ball. I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know. I mean, if it's to the caliber of Georgia Tech, because we've
Hmm.
seen Clemson go downhill. That was a pretty big win for Syracuse, but in the same
Yeah.
token, not really because Clemson's having a pretty bad year. But they gave it to me that it's in Atlanta. I just don't see that Syracuse really has any chance to win it. I think they have a chance to maybe stay close for a little while, but yeah,
Hmm.
I don't think winning. It's kind of I think that's kind of out
Yeah.
of the realm.
I'm right along with you there. I think Haynes King's going to bowl out again. I mean, he's a really good running quarterback. He's over 500 yards this year. He looks good in every outing. He looks good. They're 17.5 point favorite. So, and I can definitely see them covering here against Syracuse. I don't think
Yeah,
17.5 is crazy for this one.
I
Not
think that
like the
one's
20.
yeah, I think that one's definitely a little more realistic.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So,
um,
I mean,
yeah, sorry, I mean to cut you off, but this is just a
no,
big
you're good.
one. Ole Miss at Oklahoma. Actually like kind of upset that this is a noon game because
Yeah, yeah,
I
I'm with you there.
even if it was like a 3:30 game, like I don't know. I
Hmm.
feel like that's a 3:30 slot game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. for me on this one, I think Oklahoma just turns the ball over too much. And Ole Miss, we watched it last week. They when they're firing on offense, they're firing on offense.
Yeah.
And I don't think Oklahoma is going to have much of a chance here. I don't want to say they're not going to have much of a chance. The spread here is 5.5,
Yeah, I was
so
just
I
getting
think
ready to
it's
say
very.
that's I don't know, dude. That's a little crazy to me because I feel like Oklahoma. Listen, we seen what Ole Miss can do against
Hmm.
Georgia. Okay. Um, Oklahoma, on the other hand, like they had if this is the same Oklahoma team that played against Texas,
Yeah,
this team is not winning very many football games.
no, I completely agree.
Like
Completely agree.
you lost to Texas 23-6. I
Hmm.
understand it's a rivalry game, whatever.
Yeah,
Um, they went on the road in Columbia and and beat South Carolina, a team that I was pretty high on, but I mean obviously we've seen what has happened with that team. But
yeah,
so you've had a horrible loss and a pretty decent win. So on the other hand, you have Ole Miss. The only chance I'll give Oklahoma in this game is you're going to be facing an Ole Miss team that is kind of crushed after
right.
putting up the points they did last week and still losing. Um,
Correct. I will say they lost to a damn good Georgia team.
they did. It was on the road, so like I mean, it's
Hmm.
definitely a respectable loss by all means. But
Yeah,
I'm with you. I think that Oklahoma. I just don't think that Oklahoma can. If they're in a shootout with Ole Miss, I just don't think they can hang with them. Like I don't think they can put up the same amount of points.
yeah, and I mean Chambliss is playing really good, really
Yeah,
good.
dude, he is playing
Uh,
really good.
so I don't see it either. Over 50, like the over unders 52 and a half. I would think the over is going to hit here. 52 and a half to me is
52 and a
really
half. Yeah, dude. No,
is low for this game,
I would
but
definitely hammer the over. Yeah, because Ole Miss is dropping like 35 points, 40 points alone each game.
correct.
So I don't know. Yeah, I would think the over, but here's the thing. We say that Oklahoma doesn't have a chance, but this is the same Ole Miss team that looked horrible against Washington State before Georgia.
They did,
So, I
but
mean,
let's. Do you think that Ole Miss was just overlooking
yeah,
Washington State? I mean, because I definitely
100%.
do. I
100%.
definitely do.
And to be honest with you, this is a Washington State team that has been, I mean, secretly kind of playing good football because they went toe to toe with a very, very good Virginia team this past
Yeah,
week. Um, eh, I mean, they're starting to kind of find them, and they're 3-4. So I mean, obviously, it's on paper it's not very good, but they're a sneaky ball club that you gotta look out for, and it almost bit both of those teams with playoff
right.
implications, obviously, or playoff hopes. I mean,
Yeah,
um, yeah, I'm gonna go Ole Miss, but I think it might be a little closer than what we both think. I'll say that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I could definitely see that.
All right.
Virginia, North Carolina, Virginia for me. I mean, I don't really feel like I need to explain that one a whole lot. North Carolina hasn't looked good,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. What's the spread on this game? 10.5. That's it. No, man. I know North Carolina has been playing a little bit better football, but no, there's no way that they're gonna compete to that degree. Chase, are you talking? Because I can't hear you. Think we may have think we may have lost Chase. Okay. So I will go. Give me 1 second. Let me.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
there we
back
go.
now. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. My internet went out.
You start selling me.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, Now I was gonna say we'll go on to South Florida at Memphis. This is a crucial game. I think Memphis is kind of out of the picture. Um, just
yeah,
because it's gonna be hard to put a team with that schedule with Memphis's schedule. Holy smokes! Sorry about that.
yeah.
Um, in the playoff whenever they lost to UAB.
Completely agree. And the
That's
problem
yeah,
is like they haven't played anyone in their schedule. They're not designed to play these great teams. They're in the American. I mean, this is a massive game for South Florida. I mean, they could definitely ruin some things for South Florida here. I'd love to.
yeah,
South Florida is super entertaining to me to watch. So I'd love to see them, keep winning just for, that purpose. But they're only a 3.5 point favorite. I think this game can go either way. It'd be one that I would stay away from if I was betting. But I mean, it's still going to be a fun, entertaining game. Unfortunately, this game's going to get overlooked by the UCLA, Indiana, or an Ole Miss, Oklahoma game, just for
yeah.
competition reasons.
Yeah. Just for the
But
sheer.
I mean, if those games turn into blowouts or something, then this is a game that you could turn on and it could be really entertaining. South Florida puts a lot of points up when they want to.
I was just gonna get ready to say, dude. Yeah, they've scored 48, 63, 54, 63
Yeah.
in the last 4 weeks. So this team is absolutely dropping points. So
Mhm.
if Memphis is gonna steal a win here, they're gonna need to. I mean, I don't know. They're gonna really need to get their find that next gear
Yeah.
because yeah, South Florida is absolutely on it when it comes to scoring points.
One thing South Florida needs is for Miami to win. They need
Yeah,
Miami to continue to win because that was I mean they got the brakes beat off of them in that game. It was bad. So they need Miami to keep winning to keep them alive. Because I think if Miami doesn't bounce back and starts playing really bad and drops two or three more games, unfortunately for South Florida, the playoff hopes kind of get
it.
more difficult.
One thing I'll say is like it wouldn't be bad because I feel like that's a respectable loss even for like a big name team. That's still a respectable loss
Correct.
losing to Miami. The problem lies is they got destroyed by Miami.
That's yeah,
So I mean,
49-12.
yeah, that's kind of hard to overlook.
Correct.
All right, I'm gonna bounce all the way down real quick to Alabama at South Carolina because
Yeah.
I think this is an interesting spread. They're only favored by 12. This Alabama football team has been looking really good.
They have. I mean, ever since, I mean, they dropped that first game of the season to Florida State. That was their first game, I think, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, they dropped their first game to Florida State, and ever since then, this Alabama team has looked really, really good.
I mean,
Um,
you beat Tennessee by 17 points, and then you're only getting
yeah.
favored by 12 against South Carolina. I don't know. If you're a better,
Well,
I would maybe look at this game. That's all I'm gonna say.
the only thing I will say is I think Tennessee's defense is really weak. I mean,
Yeah, I could agree with
Tennessee's
that.
they give up a lot of points normally on average. I mean,
But
so I,
but one could also, I mean, you could also kind of, I don't know. I just this is a South Carolina team that lost 26-7 to a really I don't know. I'm gonna say mid Oklahoma team at this point in time. I will say mid. Listen, Michigan's mid. We found that out. Michigan is a mid tier team. They got
yeah,
swamp dogged by USC.
they
Um,
did.
they struggled against Nebraska. They
Hmm.
this is it's not the same Michigan team that we've seen in the past. I'll
Correct.
say that Oklahoma got absolute swamp dogged by Texas,
Hmm.
and then they came around and they dropped 26 points on the road on South Carolina. So what is Bama gonna do?
Yeah, and I think Bama has the best defense that. Oh, well, I don't know. Hold on, let me see who South Carolina's played.
I mean, they played some teams, and for the most part, South Carolina is in almost every game they've played except for the Vandy game and the South Carolina or in the Oklahoma game. The Vandy
Yes,
game, I'll cut them some slack because Lenore Sellers was
Sellers,
hurt.
and he got hurt early.
He did, yeah. So it was before the first half, if I remember right. So I mean,
Yeah,
I'll
it
cut them
was.
slack there, but I don't know. I
But
just
I
that's
mean,
a
this is also a South Carolina team too that needs to do something because I mean they got Bama this week, then Ole Miss, then A&M. I mean, then they finish out the year with Coastal Carolina and Clemson, which to me are two very winnable games. But this 3 game stretch here, I mean, really this 4 game stretch. I mean, they've been on since after the Kentucky game. I mean, they played LSU, then Oklahoma, now they have Bama, Ole Miss, A&M. So I mean, they gotta sneak a couple wins here. I think if they want to get a decent bowl game.
yeah. I don't know. It's starting to look like maybe Shane Beamer might be trying to tuck his tail and head for that VT job.
Yeah,
Personally, if I were him, but I don't know. I
yeah.
mean, it's not that Shane Beamer. Listen, he had a really good year last year, but
Hmm.
they haven't. And every team they've lost to this year is a respectable loss. The
Yeah,
problem lies, you got 3 really good teams coming up here. I
correct.
mean, there's a solid chance that they don't win until week 11 here.
Oh yeah, I know, which
Oh,
is
I'm sorry.
crazy because
That would be week 13. I'm sorry,
yeah,
or 12 or whatever that'd be. Yeah, I just this either way. There's a good chance that Shane Beamer does not win again until Coastal Carolina, and then you still got to beat Clemson. I mean, Clemson's been having a down year, but who's not going to say that Clemson's going to have a bowl game on the line?
correct. Yeah, absolutely. And I know that that's big there for everyone at Clemson. They need that. Like they need that just as bad as anyone.
Yeah, this is a 3-4 Clemson team, so every win is, I mean,
Yeah.
they're scratching here for every win. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm interested to see how that shapes up down the stretch because, like I said, Shane Beamer's kind of. It's not. I mean, he had a great year last year, so I'm not saying he's on the hot seat or anything, but not making a
Yeah.
bowl game, that's gonna be a pretty good way to put you right on the hot seat.
Yes, completely agree.
Um, we will we'll skip down to.
You want to do Vandy, Missouri?
I wasn't going to yet, but you know what? The more I'm looking at it, the more I want to talk about it.
Me too.
Yeah, we'll do it. So obviously, game of the week: Missouri at Vandy.
Yes.
Vandy in the top 10 since, my God, dude, I can't even tell you the last time that team was. Were they ever in the top 10?
I don't. Yes, they were. I want to say it was 19 something. I don't
That
even
tells me
know.
everything I need to know.
Yeah, yes, but I mean, I'm really excited for this game. I really like Diego. So to me, this is really interesting. Diego hitting the Heisman pose in the end zone last week and during that game was even more wild to me. But I'm super excited for this game, and I'm leaning Vandy. Um, that's I mean I like Missouri, but I think this is going to be one hell of a game. At 2.5 for the spread, I think is perfect for this game. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. Definitely don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. This is going to be a phenomenal game at 3:30.
Yeah, I never thought I'd say that I'm going to be rolling with Vandy as much as I have this year. I think that listen, Missouri's key to success in this game is stopping Vandy's run.
Yes.
If they can stop that run and force Diego to pass, I'm not saying Diego's a bad passer, but Diego thrives on a good run game to allow Vanderbilt and Clark Lee to kind of open up that playbook. Um, if Missouri's key to winning this football game is a fast start,
Yeah.
and just in my opinion, like they've kind of been the past few weeks they've kind of been just slowly uh and not the throw Missouri under the bus, but they've played um, two opponents of substance, I guess. Every opponent of substance they've played has been a close game. I'd say that.
Yes.
So Missouri
Yes.
is not like thrashing teams that are respectable teams. I I just don't know if Bo Prabula has enough to kind of hang with Diego and Vandy.
Yeah, yeah, and I agree there. I mean, with what you said there about Missouri having to slow down the run game at Vandy. In my opinion, they need to contain Diego, and no one's really been proven to do that, with the exception of Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that game last week against LSU a little bit. I wasn't able to watch it completely, but
Hmm.
LSU like could not tackle that man. I
No,
there was so many instances where I'm like, okay, he's down, and I just missed tackle after missed tackle, and then once you spy him, then that's whenever he hits you across the middle. So I don't know. Missouri is just going to need to do a good job of containing the Vandy run game and containing Diego.
yes,
I think if if they can limit Bo Prabula's mistakes. Granted, I mean he is on the road. I'm not saying I'm sorry, Vandy. I'm not saying hostile environment. I can't bring myself to do it. Um, they're on the
it's getting
road.
there. It's getting there.
I actually seen that LSU game last week, and I'm gonna be honest, like it. I'm
There was a
still
lot
not
of
gonna
purple
say
in that crowd.
hostile. What's that?
There was a lot of purple in that crowd.
Was there? I
Yeah,
didn't. I mean, I didn't really look at it too close. Like I said, I got to see like bits and pieces. Um, the only part of it I seen was down. I think it would be in the Vandy student section, but I mean, it looked
yeah,
pretty filled out. Um, this is this is an interesting game for both schools because a loss here for both teams kind of kind of tells the tale for the year in terms
correct.
of
I
the
agree.
playoff. This is a playoff elimination game for sure. The one team is going to be absolutely heartbroken after this.
Hmm.
If you're Missouri and you lose this game, I think it's more of a bummer than uh or I'm sorry, if you're Vandy and you lose this game, I think it's more of a bummer than Oklahoma or than Missouri because the rest of Vandy's schedule is very manageable.
It is. Vandy has a very good chance here, I think, to
I mean,
do something throughout the rest of this year.
you got to get through Missouri. Once you get
Hmm.
through them, they have Texas, who we've seen what Texas Longhorns are.
Yes.
You're home against Auburn. You're home against Kentucky, and then, in my opinion, a game that I don't know would be tough for Vandy, given the history of it and given that you can never overlook the Tennessee Volunteers, but at Tennessee, the
Correct.
hardest
And
game. I I know it's at Texas, but it's a noon game,
mhm.
and I seriously think Vandy's a better football team.
Yeah, so do I. And I think that Tennessee game, if Tennessee continues to win, that very well could be a 7:30 kickoff or later. Like, you know what I mean? That could be a
Yeah,
night game, and that to me would be a thriller at Tennessee.
that
I
would be a
mean,
fun watch. I would hate to see it because I feel like I'll tell you what, I don't mean to I would love to see it, but I would hate to see it from a hopeful Vandy aspect because I feel like a night game in Tennessee would shrink their chances
definitely.
a pretty good bit because I will say that I think Tennessee and Rocky Top have one of the most hostile environments in college football.
Oh yes, yes, completely agree.
It's so loud there. Like I think that they give you that 12th man aspect for sure.
Yep.
I I don't know. It'll be really interesting. I'm gonna have to find time to squeak this game out and see if I can look at it a little bit. But it'll be very interesting to see what the outcome is. 'Cause like I said, whoever loses this team or loses this game, I think I don't know that could kind of form a dark cloud over that team for the rest of the year because they're gonna know they're not in the playoff.
Yes, completely agree.
Okay, so we'll jump down to BYU at
Yeah.
Iowa State. So I'm gonna go over this game just for the fact that listen, Iowa State is
This
trending. They're trending down. They've
they
lost two
are.
in a row now. Um, but they have a really good opportunity to play spoiler because BYU is trending up. So
Yeah,
I don't know. The Big 12 is kind of starting to shoot each other in the foot here. Texas Tech
they are.
last week with that loss, that hurts.
Yes.
Uh, if they lose, if any, I just don't know how you put a two loss. Maybe I guess
Big
you can
12
put a two.
team.
I guess you can put a two loss Big 12 champion in. That's it.
Yeah, that I could definitely see that. I just unfortunately for the Big 12, I feel like they're going to get one spot if they get any. But you can't a two-loss one's very difficult. Very difficult. But I definitely think it's very realistic at the same time.
Yeah, and the reason I bring all this up is because BYU's ranked 11th, but if you
Mhm.
really go and look at their schedule, they are squeaking out wins.
Yeah, I mean Arizona there
So
in overtime, Utah by 3, West Virginia they I mean,
yeah, dude,
it's all
it's
there.
I mean they're winning, but it's been
Yeah.
kind of just barely getting by. What's the spread on this game? Iowa State two and a
Um,
half.
yeah, Iowa
That's
State's a
a
favorite.
that's a pretty good spread, I would say. I want to see. Is there any ridiculous spreads for the week?
Um, I think we covered most
A and M is
ridiculous
only
one.
favored by 2.5 I mean against LSU. That one's a little.
Yeah. Navy being undefeated is crazy. Still, I love it.
Did they play anybody this week?
The Florida Atlantic. I mean, not like
Oh,
a
okay.
massive game, but
They're only favored by 14. Oh my gosh, dude. Go look at Navy's schedule. At
Navy's.
Temple, 32-31 they won. Versus the Air Force, 34-31.
In that Air Force game, dude, that was wild. I don't know if you got to watch any of that, but I saw
No.
that. I did, and that game was crazy. It was a back and forth like nonstop.
Dude, Oregon is favored by 32 points over Wisconsin. Listen, Wisconsin, Luke Fickle, he's got. I think he's out after this year. I mean, he almost had. Dude, they have lost every Big Ten game this year, and it hasn't even been close.
Have they?
Dude, okay, they've dropped five straight. Wisconsin, five straight. They're
Oh,
they're two
damn.
they're a 2-5 ball club. But if
Oh
you go
yeah, I
look at
saw,
their
and they're
scores,
like have a lot of offensive struggles, more than anything.
yeah,
They're
but
really struggling.
have you seen the scores on those games,
Uh-uh. I just know that their
dude?
offense has not been good. I don't think they've scored. Well, I don't know. I don't want to misquote it, but I don't know the last time they scored a touchdown that was on like I think it was like 33 drives or something. They didn't score a touchdown or something. I don't know.
But
I
I mean,
can't remember.
that would add up because they've scored 10 points in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Shut out,
not
shut
something you want
out.
to, yeah, not something you want to be on the end of.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, and let's be
wow.
honest here. I mean, they're 2-5, so they lose one more game. They're on the cusp of not making a bowl game, and
Oh yeah,
I don't think there's any hope that you do because you play Oregon, you're gonna lose. You play Washington, you're gonna lose.
yeah.
Indiana gonna
Washington looks
lose.
good.
Indiana gonna lose. Illinois gonna lose. Minnesota. I mean, if Minnesota plays the way that they played Nebraska this last Friday, they're
Yeah,
gonna lose. So I mean,
yep,
there's a really good chance that Wisconsin does not win another football game.
yeah,
Dark times as a Badger fan. Dark times as a Badger fan.
yeah.
All right. Texas Tech is favored by 37.5 over Mike Gundy's old Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Well, yeah, and that's like a
I
revenge game, bro. I don't know if you saw what Oklahoma State did to them the last time they played. I think they dropped like
know.
67 or something crazy. So a lot of people were saying this is a big revenge game.
Really?
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like the foot's going to be on the pedal the entire time, and I don't think it matters. I think they're just going to score as many points as they can and want to against this team.
Dang, dude. Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Um, I want to go see if they have that now. No, no. What is this? I don't know. I can't find it. Um. Okay. So Texas at Mississippi State. Listen, I would not highlight this game if I did not think the Mississippi State had a chance to win this football game.
I can agree with that.
Mississippi State, they've one bad loss. Or one loss where they were not in the game, I guess. And that's A&M. It was on the road at A&M, and if I know a lot of people probably didn't watch that game, but
I did not.
Mississippi State was in that football game at halftime. That was a 7-3 football game at half. And then A&M came out, and in the fourth quarter they poured it on. That game was 14-3 going into the fourth quarter. So
Okay.
they ended up Mississippi State lost 31-9. But
Mm-hmm.
I want to make it known that Mississippi State football club, that defense played lights out up until the fourth quarter against the number 3 team in the country on the road.
Yeah.
So if they can do that against A&M, I mean, Florida beat Texas. They lost by
Yes.
2 points to Florida. They lost against a very good Tennessee team by
Mm-hmm.
7 points. I don't know, man. Texas better.
Yeah, they're gonna lock in there.
Well, the thing about Texas that, which I think should scare any Texas fan, is the fact that aside from Oklahoma, this team has not looked very good all year.
No,
So,
they
especially this
have
past
not.
week on the road against Kentucky.
And I will say in that Oklahoma game that I really think it was bad play by Mateer for the most part. I don't know if he was 100% healthy. I'd like to believe he wasn't, but
Yeah, I didn't even get to watch that game, but just from looking,
yeah,
I guess from a scoreboard standpoint, I mean, it looks like they had a pretty good game. But they're giving Texas an 80% chance to win this football game. It's 4:15 on the road. If I am right, this is the first time these two ball clubs will play each other. I don't since Texas has came to the SEC. I don't think they played in 24. They might have. Give me one check. Let me a second. Oh, they did. They played in 24, and Texas massacred them. Well, it wasn't a massacre, but they beat them pretty well. I'm telling you, this is a game that people need to. If you're a Texas fan, you should be a little concerned because I'm telling you, Mississippi State they got nothing to lose. So
yeah.
not that Texas really does either at this point, but okay, big game. I Besides the Vandy game, this is the biggest game of the week. A&M on the road in Baton Rouge. I'm gonna be honest. If LSU loses this game, Brian Kelly hot seat talk is gonna start to swirl.
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
Brian Kelly's already on the hot seat, but it's just not really conversed about. It's not really no one's talking about it because, especially from the LSU athletic department, no one's
Yeah,
gonna talk about it because you don't want to put that worm in your head coach's ear already.
right.
Because I feel like once a head coach gets that buzz that they're on the hot seat, their performance just plummets.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Like they don't coach the same way that they have coached, um, up until that point, and they coach scared kind of. That makes sense.
Yeah,
So I don't
yeah,
know. It'll be interesting. I think that LSU is at a disadvantage on essentially every aspect except for the defense side.
correct.
Because that LSU offense, man, I'm telling you, they
Yeah,
put up
and
some points against Vandy, but
yeah, against Vandy, yeah. And to be fair, I don't think Vandy's defense is like top tier or anything.
no.
Yeah, and I mean this is an A&M team that has squeaked out some wins, but for the most part has pretty well looked like they're the better football team every time. And
Yeah.
A&M's got a really realistic schedule here to win out.
What is their schedule? I haven't even looked at it.
Yeah, LSU, then Missouri, South Carolina, Samford, and then Texas. And that Texas game is at Texas, and it's a
Wow.
7:30 game.
Yeah, that's a really good schedule to win out.
So I mean, we got a really good shot here to where we may see A&M in the SEC championship game.
dude, and that is gonna A&M better be careful, man, because these big new contracts and these football programs and coaches wanting to go, A&M's listen, somebody has to be on that board and at A&M being like, we are not giving this guy the contract we gave Jimbo. Look at how much money they threw away with Jimbo Fisher. That's the problem. These coaches have one good year and they want these
Mhm.
10-year, $200 million contracts that are just unrealistic. Um, I would think that A&M would be smart enough to not do that, but I'm telling you, they're gonna win tonight, most likely. I just
Oh yeah,
I just cannot foresee LSU keeping up with that A&M. I think that A&M has a pretty terrible defense.
it does
Uh,
seem that way.
I'm not saying that, okay, I shouldn't say they're terrible, but I think that they definitely have a defense that people are kind of not really realizing how bad they are, maybe because between UTSA and Utah State, I know the first games of the season, but they gave up over 40 points to both those teams combined.
Correct.
They were home to both of them. They gave up 42 points against the Arkansas Razorbacks this past week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
I mean, they've given up 40 twice.
and then they lost or they won in a shootout. I'm sorry, to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that defense is you play a team. The schedule doable. I think they'll win out. But you play a
Correct.
team that's the first time they play a team like Alabama. That defense is going to see a good offense, and A&M's if their A&M offense is going to see a really good. The best defense that this A&M offense has seen so far is probably either Notre Dame or Florida. So
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely say Notre Dame, and then they put up 40 points, but or 41 points, but you go up against a team like Alabama that's going to stop that offense a couple times. That I just don't know if I just don't think A&M's defense is going to be able to keep them in those big big games. But I mean, like like we mentioned earlier, this is a team that they were probably overlooking the Arkansas Razorbacks and looking at LSU.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say, but I will say that I think if BK loses this game, old BK down in the old LSU Baton Rouge Tigers, if he loses this game, there's gonna be some talks like, hey,
Yeah.
this guy's definitely in the hot seat because LSU the expectation they have down there is just not what Brian Kelly has been putting out the past few years.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, I just want to do a quick score update. We got Indiana's up 7-0. Georgia Tech is driving. Their first and goal. It's 3-0. No, Syracuse does have the lead right now. Ole Miss and Oklahoma is 3-3, and Memphis and South Florida is 7-7.
Really, those both those ball clubs have scored already.
Yeah, yeah. I am not surprised because, like I said, South Florida likes to turn the ball over a lot, but they cause a lot of turnovers on defense, dude. That game, they are super entertaining.
That's interesting, yeah, because yeah, I don't know. I would like to go watch that game. All right, so let's take a look here. The last game I guess I want to talk about is where where Coach Prime and listen. I know Coach Prime has kind of lived in the shadows this year after
Yes,
the departure of
his kids
yeah the him
and
or the
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter and yeah and Chitter, but I think it's a good talking point on if we think because this is a Colorado team. Granted, they've been fighting pretty good all year. They've been in
They have.
every game they played essentially.
Hmm.
They start to kind of toss it at the end, but they do have four. This is a 3-4 ball club.
Yeah.
Uh, they're on the road at 10-15 against Utah tonight,
Hmm.
and then you got ASU later on in the year. I I just do you think Coach Prime sticks around? or do you think he tries to look for an exit?
I think it depends on how this year ends. If they end up making a bowl game and they can win that bowl game, I definitely think it's something he could stick around and do. I just don't know if that is realistic. There's a lot of job opportunities. I mean, it's crazy that we're seeing all these job opportunities, I guess, for these other schools. I don't think that he's like proven that he's going to be, a top runner for the Penn State job, for example. But I definitely think they're going to have some. He's going to have some options. There's definitely going to be some interest, mainly because of his name and because I mean, he really Travis Hunter was a phenomenal talent, and they didn't have a terrible season. I mean, it wasn't phenomenal, great. They didn't make the playoffs or anything, but I definitely think it is a possibility he could be looking at something. But it just depends, like I said, in my opinion, on how this game ends
Yeah, I
or this year ends, not game.
the
Sorry.
the coaching carousel this year has been absolutely insane in college football, and I think
Yes.
it's only going to get worse. Like we're definitely going to see Luke Fickle is definitely going to get fired. I think we're going to see some other coaches get fired that maybe you wouldn't expect because the expectation in college football is just absolutely absurd these days.
Yes.
Um, but I I can't foresee. I think Coach Prime will be out of there after this year. Listen, I think, and you can say what you want. I think the only reason he stuck around is because everybody was saying he was going to leave after Travis Hunter and Shadur and try to follow them to the NFL. And I think once he kind of found that he didn't have an opportunity in the NFL to chase and go be in it with his son, because he's coached Shadur at every leg.
Oh, yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
once he kind of found out that he wasn't going to be able to go to the NFL and follow him there right away,
Hmm.
I think that he was like, you know what, I'm going to stick it out at Colorado State because everyone's saying that I'm not going to. So I'm going to coach here another year. But like I said, this is a 3-4 football club, um, and they have a lot more chances to lose
They do.
the rest of the year. I mean,
They do.
I'm not saying they're going to, and I'm not saying they're a bad football team. Like I said, they've been fighting every single game. They lost to the number 11 ranked BYU Cougars
Hmm.
by next to nothing, so 3 points. So it's not a bad football team. I don't know. And in the offseason, we heard so much buzz around whether or not Prime was going to stay there this year. I just think this coming year might be even more. But it'll be interesting. I don't know. I don't want to throw too much hotness out there into the internet abyss because I don't want it to come back and bite me in the butt. That's how the internet
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Before we wrap this up, I'm gonna have you pick a game this week that you think's the sleeper game of the week.
Sleeper game of the week. Give me hold on.
Don't
Let me back
don't
up
have
here.
don't have to be ranked. Can just be a game that you think might shape up to be something of great substance, I guess, for the
Um,
watchers.
I think it's brewing right now, and it's the Kansas State Kansas game. Kansas hasn't beaten Kansas State since 2008, I think.
Dude,
That's
which
a
is
great
wild,
rival
dude.
game, and I mean it's 14-7 right now. Kansas State has the lead. This isn't a ranked matchup, but I mean if you're just looking for something you just want to watch, you don't feel like watching any of the mainstream games, whatever, for whatever reason, that this is going to be an interesting game to watch.
Dude, is that actually legit? They have not beat them since 2008.
Hold on, let me Google.
That is, if that's true, that is crazy. Where is it? Right here. Okay. Oh my, no, that's right, dude. So
I
they have,
thought so.
dude, they have not beaten Kansas State since Mark Mangino. Mark Mangino was the coach for Kansas that year, and that's the year that Kansas went on a run. If I no, maybe that was no, that was I'm sorry, that was 2007, but it was still Mark Mangino. Mark Mangino coached
Hmm.
there in '08, and if I'm not wrong, I think he coached there in '09 as well, and then he left.
Yeah,
Uh, so they have not won against the Kansas State Jayhawks since big old Mark Mangino,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
wild, dude. That is
Hmm.
crazy. I mean that takes Penn State and Ohio State to a whole new level.
It really does.
I mean, these are numbers that James Franklin would like to be thrown out. I just
Yeah.
so it is in Lawrence, so it's home for Kansas, correct?
I believe so,
Yeah, because
yes.
it looks like it was in Manhattan last year.
Yes. Now with those interstate teams like that, I mean, it's not like a crazy,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, that one. And then the other game that I find interesting that's also not really like a mainstream game is the NC State Pitt game. Um, NC State is 4-3. They're 1-2 in ACC play, and Pittsburgh's 3-1. I think Pitt has a good chance here to, if they can keep winning. I mean, they have a chance to keep it alive here in the ACC. I just don't know if they will, and that's kind of the hard part for them. And they do have a rough schedule going here on out, but I definitely think they need to continue to win here today. That Florida State win there 2 weeks back was a massive win for them. So
yeah,
I think it's definitely interesting, and they do have to play Georgia Tech and Miami and Notre Dame's on that schedule too. Notre Dame's on an ACC team, but still,
yeah.
yeah, I definitely that Kansas game though is probably my favorite pick.
I just cannot believe that. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So I would go. I guess above all, mine would be kind of just on the. It's not really on the down low, I guess, but BYU at Iowa State.
Hmm.
Only because BYU has been surviving past few weeks,
They
really
have.
all season kind of, and they got to
Yeah.
go all the way to Iowa. So from Utah to Iowa, which is that's a little bit of a haul.
Hmm.
It's a 3:30 game, and I think that Iowa State is capable. We all know they're capable of beating BYU.
Oh yeah.
Um, I would actually maybe pick Iowa State for this football game.
Yeah.
I
That's
That's my bold take of the week. I think that Iowa State is going to beat BYU and knock them off.
that would be crazy.
I don't. In a way, I kind of hope they don't. I actually I don't know. I feel like, and I've said this in the past, but I kind of like Iowa State. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
why. It's just one of those ball clubs where like they're so neglected, I guess, as a football club that I feel like
Yeah.
no one really ever thinks of them. They've been having some really good, quiet years these past like 5, 6, 7 years under Matt Campbell.
Hmm.
Grant they had Brock Purdy there for four
Yes.
years or however long he was there for a while, but I mean Matt Campbell has been this Iowa State team is irrelevant essentially.
Yeah.
Um, and then Matt Campbell came along and changed that. So I would go as far as saying that Iowa State might be able to squeak that out. Um, and then I'm interested to see what Kentucky does against Tennessee, only because if Kentucky loses against Tennessee, I would maybe say that we could see we'll see another coach firing because
Yeah.
Mark Stoops is walking that line of I understand it's the Kentucky Wildcats, like I get it. It's like I mean whatever. Sorry if anyone if anyone's a Kentucky fan, but it's just the truth. They're a basketball program. They've always been a basketball program.
Yeah.
Mark Stoops came to Kentucky, kind of changed that narrative a little bit in the beginning. And they had that really good 10-win year. They beat Penn State in the Citrus Bowl. That's whenever they had Benny Snell.
Yes.
Um, Great football club. And then in that little stretch of time, kind of fell off since then. So, and it's if they lose this game, they will have lost 5 games out of their last 7. So or no, I'm sorry, 5 games out of their last 6. So with their only wins coming from Toledo and Eastern Michigan.
Yeah. Two teams
I
that they
just,
obviously should beat.
yeah, I just don't think that that's enough to keep your job in the SEC. I don't care if you're any coach. Um, if you're losing to every team but those teams, and it's only going to keep, I mean, they got Tennessee this week. Then they got to go on the road at Auburn. We've seen Auburn played a heck of a football game against Georgia. I figured they
Yeah.
would. They always do whenever Georgia goes there. They played a heck of a football game against Missouri. I mean, you got to think that they would be able to beat Kentucky if they played those two ball clubs. I mean, granted, the hype was bigger around those two teams because they're ranked and Auburn had the chance to play spoiler, but like you would think that if Auburn plays the same way they did against those teams against Kentucky, they're going to win no problem. So
Yeah.
I would just go as far as saying they're going to lose against Tennessee today because I mean, I think the Tennessee's better than Texas and they lost to Texas. They're going to lose Tennessee. They're going to lose to Auburn on the road. Florida, I don't know. That's a toss up for sure.
You just don't know what Florida you're getting here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you come out like Kentucky has a pretty good defense. I mean, I think
Yeah.
they got a respectable. I shouldn't say good, but they got a respectable defense.
Right.
We know Florida has a pretty solid defense, so that would be. I think that's going to be a really low scoring game. Tennessee Tech, I think you'll win. But then the rest of the year, Vandy you lose and Louisville you lose. So I mean, if you map out all those losses, there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, potentially 9. And at that point, you're either a 4-8 or 3-9 ball club. And I think you have to kick Mark Stoops out. I think you have to.
Correct. Yes. Unfortunately, I feel the same way.
If it was any other program but Kentucky, Mark Stoops is not the football coach there.
Yeah.
Right now. The only reason he's still the
Yeah.
coach is because it's Kentucky, and he has had success in the past, and I think they like him.
Correct. He's well liked, and they all support him there.
Yeah. So I get it. But I just from another aspect, it's like if you're a winning, if you want to be a winning football program, it's just trying. I don't know. It's just been trending down. Mark Stoops he can't win those big games. I get it. He's working with Kentucky. Like I said, 3-4 times now. They don't have the resources or the recruiting capabilities or anything those other big name schools do in the SEC. But we're just in the day and age where people want more.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
Good. I was just gonna say, good is not good enough in today's age.
Yeah, and I mean, it feels like it's a what have you done lately kind of thing. I mean, we're watching it we saw it with Penn State and everything, and I just feel like it's really what have you done lately. So we'll see.
Yeah, because then you go from James Franklin, who went to the playoff and was 1 win away from the national title, and then this year he's sitting on the couch watching the games, and we're not even we just crested through the halfway point. So
Yep.
I mean, it's wild to say the least. But all right, I think we'll probably call her there. Go watch the football. Come back, talk to you guys on Monday or Tuesday about it all, and we'll see if any craziness happens.